Hey, what's going on? Miguel, Lloyd, host of Life Full Circle Radio. What's going on? What's going on? So we are here. Been a few weeks since we jumped on, and so we're on today. And so, hey, man, how many things? What has happened since we've been on? Let me see. It's just too much. And the biggest thing is that we're at war with Iran. Man, I don't know if you guys have caught the crazy Iran been trolling with some Lego creative, and that stuff's wild. I don't know if Kia, we didn't talk about that in the pre, but we'll talk about that a little bit. Which, of course, Iran war and the surging gas prices. Surging gas prices, why? Because the Straits of Hormuz are shut down, and that also causes, and then, of course, what do you call them, a truth or whatever he calls them. Whenever you put something out there, it causes the stock market to jump up and go down. So that's that. Druski, if you don't know who Druski is, let's say the conservatives know who Druski is now, and he has come out now with this skit. He's starting to make skits being his goal now, and so he's done one that he is in whiteface, and he's dressed up like Erika Kirk, and of course he didn't say he's Erika Kirk, but blah blah blah. And so so there's that, and so we're gonna talk about that a little bit, a lot of it. ICE at the airports, why are they there? We're gonna dig into that. And are they really serving a great purpose or not? We'll see. We've gone vertical on YouTube, and we got a lot of folks, a lot of trolls. Look like maybe it's some bots that are over there. Hello, bots. And then of course we'll get into what and what are you watching is what we're going to jump into today. Of course, we're out there on the social media platforms. As we mentioned, we are live right now as we speak across several platforms, including vertical and horizontal on YouTube. So if you're checking us out there, we appreciate you checking us out. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, because we do some fun stuff here on Life Full Circle Radio. We would love for you to join the party. Super producer.
Hi, everybody. We missed you guys so much. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Up. We're going to pull this. Let me go to this.
And as you can see, I am back to my Grace Jones. Got a haircut. We're starting back over from scratch again. Even though my hairline is uneven, that's fine. We're working on things. We're getting back to normal.
Yeah, so hey, it is what it is, right? You know what I mean? And now hopefully we can learn. I'm so looking forward to what's the predeceived notion or whatever it is. I like locks.
No, I actually had a meeting with a loctician when I was getting my hair cut, who judged me about getting a texturizer. She's like, "Oh, you're not really natural, though." I was like, "Bitch, like it's not your job right now." But she let me know. She's like, "Give it a year, and you're gonna go from this chair. You're gonna slide over to my chair." So that is the goal: is to get micro locks. That's the goal.
Okay, and you start there, and then you kind of go from there. It's all good. The girls are now. Let me see. Trey's got to be on.
Hair. Miguel's wife. You guys have never met Tracy, but Miguel's wife's hair is gorgeous. Like it is perfect and beautiful and the right length, and it's so pretty down and neat and everything. It's great.
I kind of dig it. And so she's had her locks for about 7 years. The girls both are locked. My two youngest, and my oldest just says, "Daddy, I'm not locking it up." Okay, do what you want. I'm 26. Do what you want.
Yeah, you don't even live here no more. I can't tell you to do nothing. You don't stay here.
Right. But she gonna do what she wants to do. But anyway, so as we get into this thing, things happen. It's Thursday. We don't normally record on Thursday, and the whole thing was, last night, I was at this fundraising event. That was, so if you may remember about, I think it was 2019. Why is his first name escaping me? Smith, the very wealthy black man, last name Smith, who paid for, and didn't tell him, paid for the Morehouse graduates' whole graduating class.
They're dead.
They're dead. And so when that happened, it was, like I said, it was amazing that debt was paid. And so he's got a foundation now, and the foundation was doing this fundraiser last night. It was probably 200, 300 people there. Yeah, I give it that. And my brain is not working right now. I don't know why. Blackish dad. Who's the dad? Was on Anthony Anderson. Anthony Anderson was there. He was the host. Roxy Diaz, who is his girlfriend now.
Girlfriend.
And there was some conversation about, they made some jokes about the divorce and this, that, and the third, and that and the third, and all that good stuff. So it was interesting, but Magic was there. Wyclef Jean performed. Oh, I didn't say that part.
You guys, the reason why I have this look on my face is because Miguel invites me to stuff after the fact. We don't live in the same city. We don't even live in the same state. So he's like, hey, so we got this event coming up like Thursday. It is Monday. I can't go. I'm home, sir.
But
that sounds amazing.
But to here's the thing. That's how sometimes it happens. It's like we'll get a call like, hey, we got 2 tickets, or we can get you on the list to come to this event, or blah, blah, blah. We'd be like, all right, cool. As long as the kids are good, we'll pop up. But it's Atlanta. People say Atlanta's not a real place. It's a very real place, and stuff like this happens. So it is what it is. So, so that's why we're here on a Thursday. But a lot of stuff going on. Let's jump into this thing. The Iran war. Trump woke up one morning and said, you know what? I'm going to go bomb Iran. Bomb Iran. And a lot of folks, with people who we know, there's a reason why that we've been in this position with Iran since 1979, since Jimmy Carter was president, that we didn't like Iran. We don't like Iran, but we don't really fool with Iran, right?
Iran. Please stop saying it wrong. The country's name is Iran. It's Iran.
It's what?
Iran.
Whatever.
Iran.
Iran. Okay. Is this the same one who couldn't say Kamala? Is this the same woman who couldn't say Kamala for 2 years?
Because I have Indian family members who said her name was being pronounced wrong, so it's stuck in my head.
Whatever. So anyway, there's a reason since 1979 we did not engage them the way we engaged them. And now we decided to engage them just like, okay, they were just going to go away like a gnat, and it's not happening. And so if you got any links, drop them in there so I can pull them up. But yeah, it's crazy. And now you got the situation where Iran is trolling us with these videos. Have you seen these videos, these Lego videos that they've been distributing? That's basically doing the same thing propaganda-wise that Trump is doing in the Trump administration.
Yes, I have seen them. And the reason why I haven't dropped an article for you, because there's 50 billion articles right now all talking about different things that are happening with this war. Trump, along with Israel, who Israel honestly is pulling the strings in the situation, bombed this country under the pretense that we want them to be free. Yeah. The regular politically sound person who knows what the deal is doesn't think this whole thing was about Iran being free. It was never about them being free. That would just be a happy accident. And now what's looking like is happening is yes, you will make Iran free from their leaders, but what are they going back to? The same thing Palestinians are going back to, a country full of rubble and dirt. I mean, the first strike that happened from the U.S. side killed 150 schoolgirls, which they then tried to still blame on Iran, like, well, why would they build a school of girls next to a base? Well, it wasn't near a base because you guys had intel that was over 10 years old. So there's multiple issues with this war. Iran, like you said, is not backing down, and now they're playing to Trump's mindset of, you play around on social media, we can play around on social media too. Don't think because we're this Middle Eastern country we don't have a social media manager.
But here's the thing that people don't understand. Y'all think that Iran is this little itty bitty little country, you can just go in there and just swipe. Iran is 80 million people.
No, they think Iran is just some stupid dirt country with no technology. They have nothing. That's how people look. Honestly, that's messed up. That's how people look at Iran. It's stupid country.
It's the level of ignorance. Yeah, it's definitely the level of ignorance that we Iran is not a little itty bitty country. It's not. It's well populated. Has a great it has an army. It's Iran is no place to mess around with. But here we are. And so then you have the Strait of Hormuz, which is a major thoroughfare for commerce in that part of the world. And so oil. That's part of the reason why, our allies are just like, you're on your own, Doc. We're not getting in the middle of that and having our gas price. Our gas price is already going up because of this mess you're doing.
It cost me $55 to fill up my truck. It has never cost that much money to fill up my truck ever. Gas prices in Florida, because I know Georgia's always a little bit cheaper than us. Gas prices in Florida are, you guys are usually like 10 to 15 cents cheaper than we are. Okay. But right now, gas in Florida for just regular unleaded is $4 a gallon.
Well,
That's crazy.
well, how would you like to be in my house where we have 2 cars that require premium gas?
Omar
So,
says my truck requires premium gas. I told him it doesn't, that it'll be fine with unleaded for right now.
okay.
It's not exactly fine with unleaded right now, but
Yeah, no, because when it's all said and done, if it messes up your engine, then all of a sudden you got a bigger problem than a couple of knocks. But anyway, that's you.
I'm putting in mid-grade. I'm putting in mid-grade from premium. We used to put premium in. Now I'm like, mid-grade is fine. I've been putting in mid-grade for, don't tell Omar, hope he's not watching, for a while, and it's been fine.
See, here's the thing. So here you go, audience. So here's an example of someone who has a husband who has been in the auto business, in the service auto business for 15 to 20 years of his career. His wife believes that she knows better than him what sort of gas is supposed to go in their vehicle. And so if anything happens to that vehicle, she's going to turn right back around and like, Omar, what's wrong with the car? I don't understand why it's knocking. I don't understand. And you'd be like, have you been putting the right gas in the car?
You hear something crazy? I'll tell you a funny story before we get off the gas topic and talk about the serious Iran conflict topic.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go meet him somewhere because my AC in my car was getting fixed. Mm-hmm. I need to put gas in his car, and it was very expensive. And he has a Jetta Tiguan. I put regular unleaded in it. Whatever, fine, for not doing premium. So I took him his car. He goes to drive it. He's like, something's wrong with my car. I really don't want to have to take it right now to go get it fixed. So, he's having the job issue right now. I really think to go get it fixed. And he's going on and on. I was like, so I put regular unleaded in it. He's like, you did what? I was like, I put regular unleaded in it. It's fine. He's like, it's not fine, but at least I know I don't need to take my car to the dealership.
Right. It's not fine. It's not fine. Just drive less. Like if you don't want to, right. Yeah, it's not fine. You got to put the right gas in these vehicles, especially these modern vehicles, the way to build. All right, we're off that soapbox. But
even let's talk about more with the war thing. Even outside of the gas prices and everything, it is affecting a lot of things. Countries are now having to pick sides, and by pick sides meaning either we're going to support the U.S. or just be like, nah, we're cool. We don't want anything.
Who's supporting
to do with
the
this.
U.S. besides Israel?
Nobody, because everybody's like, we don't want anything to do with this conflict.
No,
although stocks are suffering. The world as a whole is suffering because of the situation. A lot of people are blaming Israel, and I'm sorry, I blame Israel as well. This was their
fault. Because we keep on running behind Israel, that, and that's the problem. Now Israel's got us.
Important ally.
Huh?
Can you tell me that? Why is Israel such an important ally? The country is the size of New Jersey. Like, why is this such an important ally? Don't say Jesus.
Well, that's part of it for the Christian folks who don't dig deeper. It's in the Word. It's in the Word of God that was there the chosen people, and that's blah blah blah. So here's the strategic part of it. They are our only ally in the Middle East, and they have access to water.
Okay.
Right. Think about it geographically where they are the only real ally we have. Everyone else out there, even some of think about it, the Saudis are Trump's allies, but when it's, the Saudis are the Saudis. They care about bread. That's all they care about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And so when you talk about Israel, if our enemies had control of Israel, then westernized nations would have no influence over the Middle East. So there's that. And so because when we were talking about this, when we had our guest on a year or two ago, when everything went down out there, we were like, okay, so you're telling the Palestinians can't have access to water, they can't go north, they can't go south, they can't come back, they can't do nothing. So you got them boxed in, you know what I mean? And so, and like I said, they got access to the West Bank and blah, blah, blah. So that's it. It's geographically without them,
It's just such a weird thing that we are now following behind this tiny country for zero benefit to us. Because there is no benefit to the U.S. We don't gain.
There's no benefit to what? There's benefit to having allies with Israel. Yeah.
What's the benefit?
I just said it. You have access to the Middle East where all that oil and resources are.
But we also now are beholden to their issues and their problems. Like, correct. To me, the goods don't outweigh the bad. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, tell the world that.
I am telling them now who are watching this show that I'm on right now that the goods don't outweigh the bad. And this is not, and I know a lot of people like to turn it into this whole, you hate Jewish people. No, that is not at all what Life Full Circle Radio is saying.
That part will never resonate with me. Out of the whole you hate Jewish people thing is just like, anyway.
We love our Jewish delegation. We just don't like your country and your messed up government who's making horrible decisions for zero reason.
So, but the reason is that they want to. So if you look at it from the Israel's position, they want to exist. So they're there, right? And so they don't have anybody else in the region that they can count on to be
no
an
one
ally,
cares
but
that
the
Israel
US.
exists.
Huh?
You guys have existed for years. We don't care that you. Congrats on existing.
They've existed since World War II.
But why are they acting like? And this is a whole separate conversation. Why are they acting like their existence? Nobody wants us to be here. We don't need to. They don't want us to exist anymore. Nobody cares. We don't care. Nobody cares that you guys are there. We don't care.
There's a lot of people that care. Our government cares.
Who cares?
The government.
No, I mean
economy.
like negative people trying to destroy Israel and take it down. That's how they're reacting.
I am not, and I don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Now, you know, you've been around me almost 20 years. You know how it is. I'm just looking at it from a logical. I'm telling you, good, bad, or indifferent. This is why.
Okay.
If they give up Israel, if they let Israel fail, then the Middle East, in essence, becomes as powerful as the United States, which cannot happen from their perspective. Because the biggest thing about why they hate the U.S. is that it's hard to defeat the U.S. because of physically where we are, the resources we have. They can't get to us because of water on both coasts. That's why our country always works so hard to control the southern border. Because that's the only place that you got countries that let people come in through that area. Canada's part of us physically,
and they don't mess with us at all anymore.
Right? You know, so now we pissed Canada off. So
right.
So we don't have, you know, it's so crazy. It's like this dude think he is so untouchable, and think that his way of thinking and his way of life and his minions have made him believe that they are so untouchable. And we're learning how much we can be touched right now.
Yeah. All right, let's go into ICE agents at the airport. So the government shut down, and with the government partial shutdown, that means that TSA is no longer getting paid. And slowly but surely, just like the last time the government shut down, people are quitting or taking leave or taking 6 days, whatever they need to do, because, you know, being there at TSA, I'm not getting paid. Why am I here when I could just go do Uber Eats or I could go
right. If you none of us can afford to go 2-3 months without getting paid. That's just ridiculous.
No, we can't.
It's ridiculous.
So Trump's solution was to send ICE to the airport. When he first suggested this, I thought, okay, this kind of makes sense because they'll be able to help with screening and getting people through. Apparently, these MFers aren't doing anything. So okay, what are ICE agents authorized to do? When ICE was created as part of the DHS in 2003, Congress gave the agency wide power to question, search, and arrest undocumented immigrants or those believed to be undocumented immigrants without a warrant. Immigration enforcement, especially in the early days, primarily targeted undocumented immigrants who had already been arrested for crimes committed in the United States. This means that they don't really have power to do anything outside of arresting immigrants. They can't.
But we keep talking about what power they don't have, but they do have power because they're wearing us out. You know, and I'm listening to you. I'm just my computer is acting crazy, and I'm trying to figure it out while we're on. So we're gonna have to hang up the show.
So what are they going to be doing at the airport? When NPR asked DHS on Thursday whether ICE is operating under more aggressive rules, Lauren an act working to support the TSA, interested in excesses and assisting with logistics, doing crowd control and verifying identification using TSA equipment and standard procedures. Was TSA guarding exits? Is that what they were doing previously?
Yes, I know they were also part of the security apparatus. Yes,
I understand that, but here in Florida and at Orlando at MCO, who guards the exits is the Orlando Airport Police Department. That's who does that part at the airport here.
Right.
And then TSA does screening, security, that type of stuff. But those two things work together.
Right.
And we see videos now of ICE just walking around the airport doing nothing. I literally thought they were bringing ICE in to sit in front of the monitor, check bags, make sure nobody's bringing illegal stuff in.
They're not trained for that. That's something people have to go through a series of really detailed training to be able to understand. Think about, here's the thing. think about how many times you've gone through the airport and you left a set of tweezers or something in your bag. That technically, the only thing that ever really gets right. Technically, the only thing I ever see gets taken pretty consistently are liquids over 3 ounces.
Liquids,
other than that, there is some stuff that's
liquid tweezers and liquid baby formula.
So most of us aren't in the baby formula world right now, so that doesn't mean anything to us, right? And so point being, there is stuff that I know that there's been times anyway, they're not qualified. They're not qualified to make those decisions. They're not qualified to, because I'm convinced that there's got to be times that they look and they, you know, for example, if I'm traveling with my camera bag and I have a kit that sometimes that I might need to do, take some screws in and out or whatever. Yeah. Technically, they could probably confiscate that if they wanted to, but they don't. Because they see it's with I got a whole camera and kit and blah, blah, blah. This guy obviously is doing this for work. And so they're not tripping. But so my point is that to me is a reason for them to sit up there as ICE. They're really there to try to find somebody to snatch somebody up to improve their numbers. They're trying to grab somebody. They're trying to do some more arrests. They're trying to find people that can sit up here and continue to harass.
How do you do that at the airport? How do you do that at the airport? How many people are going through the airport who are undocumented? Legit question.
They're not.
Exactly. Like
they're
nobody's going to the airport.
Nobody's going through the airport that's undocumented, right? You that's one of the things that all of us as Americans will sit up there and be like, okay, let me make sure this is in my carry-on bag. Not even pointing to the what do they call them? The batteries now. There are different types of batteries that you gotta not put in your check-in bag. You got to make sure it's in your carry-on bag because now they're talking about the batteries exploding. You're like, we're all at a point where we think so much more about how we do when we go to the airport. Yeah. So you think that just some old rando trying to cross the border is you're going to find a whole bunch of people?
So let me tell you, there's 3 things people don't mess with. The IRS, the post office, and the people at the airport. No. Because especially, I watch way too much body cam. The police don't play at the airport. They'll look at you and be like, oh, you got really loud and drunk at the airport. You're now banned from this airport for a year.
Right. Nobody's trying to get on no, exactly. So it's like all of this stuff is just like, it's all for show when it's all said and done. All this stuff is for show.
It's not helpful. If you're going to be the president and you see your numbers are waning, and his numbers are absolutely waning. They did that bizarre poll that said, 100% of MAGA supporters are for the Iran war, which would end up working out as people who no longer claimed MAGA were no longer included in that poll. It was a bunch of BS. But if you want to make things better, why not say, hey, you ICE agents, what y'all are going to do is go through at least really quickly some kind of helpful thing so y'all can at least slide bags down the conveyor belt. Y'all can at least check IDs.
How about they go ahead and get the funding right and get the real people who doing the job and let them do their work?
Not going to happen. The Democrats are not going to approve what Trump wants. What Trump wants is just not something the Democrats are going to give up for. They're holding their ground longer than they were last time, and that's the problem. And truth be told, I blame Kristi Noem. This is her effing fault.
Why are you blaming it? Well, so why are you zeroing in on Kristi Noem?
Because if she hadn't made such a spectacle of the whole ICE situation, reined her guys in, told them, hey, we are going after people who are actual criminal records or have been skipping out or they're abusive or something, that's the only people need to go after. Once it became, she's now in a flak jacket and holding a gun and doing all these commercials and flipping her hair like we're in Wicked or whatever, and, saying like ICE is doing a great job going after everybody. 2 deaths happened and she still was like, they're domestic terrorists. I feel like she's the one who made it worse. And that is why the Democrats can't get on board to fund it, because it became a spectacle.
It's not just it's about nobody else but Trump and the people who controlling his puppet strings. Like when it's all said and done, people always will say, well, Obama was they were deporting more people under Obama. Yeah, but Obama wasn't making a spectacle of it on TV every night.
Also, over an 8-year period. 8 years, guys. He deported more people than any other president over an 8-year period. Trump is trying to beat that number in the first year. Well, we're now in the first year, trying to beat that number in the first year. That's what that is. Stop being dumb.
So, so when I see all this stuff, it's all a show. And there's so many things that are going on. It's hard to even keep up. When you look at the situation with the way the media now, one of the biggest things that no one is talking about is that now between Nexstar and I think it's Sinclair, there's like one company now that owns 75% of all local television networks, stations around the country. 75%. And people will say, look, man, don't nobody watch local TV anymore. Damn lie. You know who watches local TV with those rabbit ears? Old people. You know what old people do? They vote. And they vote and they vote again. They don't miss. They don't sit up here and say Tuesday, oh, I forgot. I'm gonna go get wings tonight. And oh, I forgot to vote. No, they don't forget to vote.
No, I live in Orlando. I live in the Orlando area, really close to something called the Villages, and we all know the Villages is a huge voting market here in Florida. Everybody knows what the Villages is. Right. It's a senior plus community where it's only seniors who live in the city. They got their rabbit ears. They're watching local news. They're watching local TV. They're driving their golf carts to the poll every time.
Right. That's right. And you think,
they're not on social media. They're not on Twitter. They're only looking at local news.
They're only looking at local news, and local news is telling them that Democrats are crazy, and this is who you need to vote for. And they love to see that man. Everybody's, oh, he's so crazy. Trump is so crazy. He's orange and he's sickly and And here's the thing that people don't understand. They're setting us up. There's a reason why J.D. Vance is the most visible vice president we've had since I can remember.
He is so ridiculous.
And he will be a very formidable opponent to be the president in 2028.
He Absolutely. Probably will. But listen, the Mar-a-Lago, the city that Mar-a-Lago is in, actually just turned blue. They voted for, I think she's a mayor. They just voted in a blue mayor for the first time ever. The Villages went from red, blood red to purple, which is a huge deal for this area. People, I know I say this all the time and you always roll your eyes at me, but people are starting to, don't roll your eyes. People are starting to not like certain things. I mean, the core things. Gas prices are up. Groceries are expensive. These are core things. I mean, fishermen in Florida who all voted for Trump are all like, no, I'm mad. I'm upset. He lied to me. We're all like, of course he lied to you, but.
Are you done? So because here's the thing. I hear everything that you're saying.
No, you don't.
I hear everything that you're saying. The problem is that they've been setting up the brand of J.D. Vance different than Trump's from the beginning. And they're easily going to start to back away from Trump in the last 18 months of his presidency and focus on building up J.D. Vance or whoever they decide is going to be, which I'm pretty sure is going to be J.D. Vance. I keep on hearing J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio is going to be the next ticket. We'll see. And so, yeah, they have been separating those two for a while. And so it doesn't matter if they don't like Trump. They acting like they don't like Trump. They'll find a way to sit up here and say, well, no, Vance is different than Trump. No, he's not.
Can you pull up this comment from Carlene Peaches? Yes, I have noticed that majority of ICE are people of color, which has been very off-putting. Because at the airport, they can't be masked. They can't be masked at the airport. So you're seeing what these people actually look like, and they are Hispanic, and they are Black people. And biracial people who are mostly a part of ICE, which is like a weird thing because as people of color, we've all been very anti-ICE and we have to support each other. To see the people behind the mask, it is concerning. I totally get. I hear what you're saying, and I have noticed.
It's such a game. It is such a game that they play. That's all it is. When they were masked and nobody could see their face, it was mostly a bunch of white dudes. Now that all of a sudden that we can see their faces, now they want to bring out young people and Black people and women. And come on, man, this is not by accident. Take those same masked dudes who've been running around kicking in people's doors and shooting at innocent people. Put them at the airport.
Carlene, Carlene, the reason why I see what your comment says, why would she say she thought it would be a good idea that ICE could be helping when they send ICE to the airport to harass and intimidate? What I thought is that our president or whoever's behind him could have a little bit of common sense to get these lines. These lines are 4.5 hours long. Sending to the airport to intimidate is not helpful. The press secretary and the PR team behind him are morons, and it drives me crazy being in marketing. Like, you need to be doing something to help your approval rating and to make it so the GOP has a chance to exist after you. The stuff that Trump is doing is making it hard for the GOP to exist after him.
Because they don't give a damn about the GOP existing after him. They care about white supremacy. GOP is not white supremacy. That's just a party. They care about white men controlling everything. And when it's all said and done,
bad job. They're doing such a bad job.
How? They own everything.
But no, not saying that what they think they're probably doing an amazing job. But when you look what's actually happening, how do you want people to vote for you and for you all to stay in power as white men when you all are? This is what's happening. You are losing. They are legitimately. The Save America Act is trying to strip you as a woman from the ability to vote. They want to get it to the point that it doesn't matter what the people think. That if we strip enough people from their rights to vote, if we, and then while all this distraction is going on, while they punching us in the eye with the left hand, they writing checks with the right, and they're buying up every TV station. They're doing everything to get control of every corporation. So we haven't talked since this whole situation with the Target fast stuff. That's happened since we've been on. Jamal Bryant can go to hell. I just wait.
I know how you feel about Jamal Bryant. We all know how you feel about Jamal. Let's just talk about
it. Let's go over to a goofy topic real quick. Jamal Bryant made everybody believe that he was a huge part of this Target boycott and he was leading the way and all this kind of stuff. He's a liar. He's a cheater and a liar. I have said this. I stand by this. I know he's your friend.
He's not my friend. I don't know Jamal Bryant. I've seen Jamal Bryant. We run in some similar circles. So let me ask this question about this whole situation. Who was involved with the Target fast?
They're two black women who happen to be a part of the Black Lives Matter movement. I forgot their name.
No, we're talking about. We're not talking about the Target. First of all, it wasn't started by them, and there's documented. You can go to Tamika Mowry's social media, and she has receipts.
It wasn't Jamal Bryant.
No, it wasn't. It started off with Nina from Tamika Mowry, and I encourage the viewers and listeners to go and look it up. Tamika Mowry broke it down. Nina Turner was the one who started it, who started the conversation. Asked Tamika Mowry to get involved. The folks in Minnesota saw it, they jumped on it, and then here we are. And so when it came down to the Target fast, which is different than the Target boycott, when Jamal Bryant, who went up there to DC along with Tamika Mowry and Nina Turner and said that this portion of what we're doing, we're done, and everybody continues to turn and say Jamal Bryant was the issue. Jamal Bryant still turned around and said, you know what, I'll take the hit. He did the apology thing, and still primarily black women still are all over him. And so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I haven't been to Target. I ain't walked into a Target in God knows how long. I've never been a huge Target shopper anyway. So, but it's black folks, Target, and stay away from Walmart and all that. Whatever.
My mom hasn't been to Target in over a year.
How's your mom? How's Mama Blanche? She all right?
We won't talk about it in depth online. She can't travel, so she got us to stay home. So we have to go see her. Okay. But Mama Blanche is good. She won't go to Target. She will not go into a Target. I have said to her multiple times, like, hey, the kids like this one toy, it's only at Target. She's like, well, then I'm not gonna get it. I'll give you the money if you gonna go in there. I'm like, all the neck rolling is not necessary, but sure, fine.
Yeah, but I'm having problems with the comments, but so full disclosure, Peaches is my classmate from high school. Peaches was a hell of a basketball player, but she was talking about she's somebody I've known for 30, 40 years. They're not trained to work. Not trained to work at TSA. They're not.
No, they're not.
They're not. And that's a real job. That's the part.
Plan here,
huh?
Me, per usual, thinking that maybe somebody's smart.
No, there was no plan. He just sit up here and he wanted to show how tough he is. Have a bunch of people walking around because when it's all said and done, ICE has a bigger budget almost than the damn United States military.
All right. Well, are we ready to talk about fun stuff?
I guess.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and send you this Druski link to his channel so we can like both watch the video together. So Druski, who just is just he's now a he's on like a Weird Al Yankovic in 2026. You guys remember what Weird Al Yankovic used to do with parodying songs and rap songs?
Yeah, but he's doing a whole
Remember
lot better
Amish
than Weird
Paradise?
Al. He is killing. He is killing. But go ahead, keep talking. I'm having. We're gonna have to talk through. I'm not going to pull up any links today. I don't know what's going on with my computer. It's acting
Oh, no
crazy.
problem. So, because of so he's more like a Weird Al Yankovic. He's making Weird Al used to make parodies of music. Druski is doing it of life experience. So he's done NASCAR. He did by pastors, and now he is doing. He's saying he's doing the conservative women. He's really just doing it off of Erika Kirk, and he's fully in white face, as white people like to call it. He's got full wig,
He's
holding
using
the
white face.
Bible.
Yeah, he's using white face. When I saw it come across my screen, because I know right now.
Can you share my screen?
I don't try. We can try it, but I'm getting, for Mac users, I'm getting the pinwheel of hell right now. So every time I move my mouse, so everything is kind of acting crazy right now. So I'm just trying to get us not to lose the show altogether. But when I first saw it pop up on my screen, I was just like, I know that the Wayans have got the scary movie thing coming out. Maybe this is something that has to do with them. And but his face was so big. I was just like, oh my God, his face is huge. And so, yeah, I think hold on a second. Kia screen, 2-shot Kia screen. Oh, and Ecamm is just acting up right now. Let me see if it lets me do it. So,
because it goes through, Erika Kirk's interviews, her on stage at her husband's funeral. He kept walking on stage. This is well, we know which one Druski is. This is Druski, and that's Erika Kirk side by side. And the facial expression and makeup is pretty on point. But this and then this is how conservative women have been acting, ordering food. This is her at the funeral again.
When it's all said and done, they always talk about there's a lot of truth in jest and all that good stuff. This whole thing is a parody of what a lot of white nationalist Christians and the way that the ridiculousness that a lot of people way we perceive what's going on, where you can scream about Jesus and you can scream about the love, but on the other side of your mouth, you're all about people who are murdering and killing people and because hey, in the name of Jesus, it's everything is cool. And so he's in this get up. He looks like he looks like, and they always, that's a whole different conversation. They talk about black comedians, they make it when they've made it when they cross dress and dress like a woman. I guess Druski is now he's made it.
And white people are losing their minds. They're like, of all conservative women in America, why her? This woman is still grieving. Is she still grieving? Because we have watched this girl where she looks like an evil Tammy Faye Baker. We have watched her be sparkled up and dance across sets, and we've seen her be on phone calls. We're talking about how much merch they've sold and tickets they've sold, and now we're supposed to believe she's no, she's not the grieving widow. I can't wait till it comes out that she is now getting married to somebody else, because that's what's next. She's probably
they have people talking about how he was she was about to take JD Vance from his wife. It's
Usha needs to tighten up.
Who?
Like, listen, Usha, we need to have a conversation.
Okay. Why she tighten up? What's going on with her?
You're pregnant right now, so I'm not gonna go too far in on you.
Oh, is she pregnant right now?
Yeah, she's at 40. They did it. It's a publicity stunt. I mean, what better do you like than the president and the second lady, the vice president, second lady having a baby that's so cute? It softens them and makes them
the
warm.
Same one that I just said is going to be running for president in 2 years.
Yeah, new baby running for president. Cute little 2-year-old running around that ugly overalls that like JFK Jr. under the desk. I totally understand it. But listen, Usha, you look rough, you look raggedy, you don't care about yourself, you're not speaking up, you have zero platform. It's going to be somebody like Erika Kirk who's going to take your place. And the reason why I say that is, if he left Usha for Erika, conservatives wouldn't even care, would they?
Of course not, because she's white. And she's
white, and he's conservative, and she's trad wife, and she is going to put your brown butt out of your job.
Wife? What does trad wife mean? What does that mean?
Traditional wife.
Oh God. Okay.
I'm technically a trad wife.
Are you? What makes let's unpack this. What makes you a trad wife? I don't so I can know is Tracy a trad wife?
Does Tracy do majority of the child rearing?
No, we pretty much share that.
Does Tracy do all of the cooking and cleaning?
No, we share that.
So Tracy's not a trad wife. So because I work from home, I do the majority of the cooking and cleaning. I also do the majority of the children's stuff, only because, Omar was leaving the house and driving so far away, he couldn't. So I was doing all of the kids' stuff, Devin's therapy appointments, Devin's school stuff, the twins. I do all of that. Mm-hmm. I get the whole house up in the morning. I do all of that stuff. And when you look at what the trad wife, I fall in that bucket of trad wife.
Okay, so trad wife is traditional, short for traditional. Okay, all right. Well, then there's that. So
anyway,
yeah, I just
conservatives are losing their mind about this whole Druski thing. But listen, we just watched our president be excited about Mueller's death. Is it Mueller or Mueller?
Robert Mueller and his death, and he's a crappy human being for celebrating and talking about how he was happy that this man was dead. This is our leader here, guys. This is our leader. Yeah. So
and they keep trying to compare it to, well, you guys were excited about Charlie Kirk's death and this and that. I'm like, okay, there's a difference between randos on Twitter being excited about it and an actual politician saying, I'm glad you're dead. There's a difference.
The people who are celebrating any of these people's deaths folks got real issues. They got real and they're just right. So I just, man, I'm at the point now with this nonsense. There is no bottom. The bottom is being redefined on a day-to-day basis. Think about since we haven't done our show in 3 weeks. We've gone to war with Iran. Robert Mueller has been celebrated by our president when he died.
Mark Wayne Mullins is now DHS secretary,
who doesn't even have a college degree, and who
tried to fight multiple people in hearings.
Right, in Congress. Let's go, man. You want to go?
Let's go outside.
Let's go. So if people don't know what we're talking about, this guy was a sitting congressman, and it was in a hearing, he and another dude got up there, and they were like, it was they were middle schoolers in the playground, and they said, you want to go? We can go right now. And he stands up, and you hear old Bernie Sanders in the background, like, okay, guys, stop it. You're a sitting senator. I said, are we really here where we've got, and we are. The bullies are one. The bullies are all in every position from the president on down. And the bullies aren't just the bullies are whoever fits the personality Donald Trump wants them to fit. Because we got a bully as a press secretary. We had a bully as Kristi Noem as head of DHS, who got replaced by another bully. When it's all said and done, all these positions will be filled by a bunch of buttholes.
And then we see time after time, and again, I see this over and over again, of one conservative after another in the Trump administration getting arrested for something, whether it's child molestation, whether it's, some kind of sexual harassment situation. None of these people are smart or good people or talented or behold Christian values. They've fallen one after another. I mean, what I really think is the part that not triggers, but almost is like marks them as a Trumpster for women. They get that makeover. Once you get that makeover, it's a wrap.
I didn't know what they looked like before. So when they get makeovers, it's like, I don't know. I didn't know what you looked like. I didn't know who you were. I didn't care until you were forced into my world. So, Kristi Noem. Now, Kristi Noem, obviously. But see, there's she fits a profile, She, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City type of profile. So,
But all of them, I mean, but it's a whole different situation. The Mark Wayne Mullins situation is probably the crazy thing. Him and what's his name? Rand Paul. Him and Rand Paul got into it, and Rand Paul was like, "You suck."
and see, Rand Paul is a different type of conservative because he got enough money and resources that he don't need Trump's money.
No, he doesn't.
And so so he's never been in their inner circle because he can't be controlled. Trump can't control Rand Paul. He's a Republican. He's a conservative. He's not a MAGA. And don't get me wrong, he can be pretty much yeah. So
I can't wait to meet Lindsey Graham's boyfriend. I can't wait for that pool boy to come out and tell his story. I feel
I can wait for that. I could care less about Lindsey Graham's boyfriend. What the hell?
I'm just saying, again, another conservative, like Jesus Christ values and Christians. But I'm also dating Julio, who I brought over here from Guatemala, who is not here legally, but I love him so much. I'm waiting for
God!
that.
All right, so all right, I'm about. Let me see if I can get this to fire off. Let me see.
Oh, God.
All right, so yes, this is a segment of our show where we talk about things that you hear about and you be like, what, did that really happen? Yes, yes. And so, what you got for our what this week?
So we talked about Druski, who Miguel said was mainstream media, but we have to talk about EJ Johnson. If you don't know, EJ Johnson is Magic Johnson's son. EJ is a gay man who is feminine presenting, and he got on a recent podcast and said that he actually looks better than most women, and most women are jealous of him. He has better style, grace, than most women, and he is getting dragged to Timbuktu by everybody over his comments. And let me tell you this, EJ, I am glad you are proud of who you are. I'm excited about that for you. I'm glad you were comfortable, but you still look like your dad in a dress. You are 6'3". You are 6'3". You can put all the makeup you want on yourself. You on the Ozempic, that's great. But you still look like Magic Johnson in couture. Sir, stop it. Like, why? Why was it necessary?
Good question. Oh, I'll get a beverage.
My next what is, I guess, a little bit more serious, and I'm going to go into this description, so just stay with me.
Okay.
So recently, a season of The Bachelorette was supposed to air, and it got canceled 2 days before it was aired because the main character, the Bachelorette, Taylor Frankie Paul, got caught on video abusing her baby's daddy / boyfriend. She attacked him, kicked him, threw 3 metal chairs at him. He tried to block one of the metal chairs. It ended up hitting her daughter in the face. The video comes out, and now women are saying, oh, well, what did he do before that? That's reactive abuse. That doesn't count. Like, they should still air her season because what did he do beforehand? And I want to get your thoughts on the fact that this is the most evil double standard that should not be existing when it comes to male and female abuse.
So your question to me is that what do I feel? How do I feel about the double standards of domestic? Yeah, there's. And you know, people, I'm really at the point now, and you know me well, I hate bullies. I hate bullies. And social media has put people in positions to be bullies that, which include in a lot of cases, black women can be some of the biggest bullies out there, especially with social media and the fact that there's really not much. Huh?
Yeah. Yes, I said yes with social media.
Yeah. It's really sisters can really be some pretty nasty bullies. And so when you start talking about what people feel like is supposed to be let go and what's supposed to be all good, and it could be a positive situation. I don't care who it is. You know, when it comes down to domestic violence, I'm not good with it. You know, I'm not good with it. Period, point blank. And it's a shame. It's a shame to see that this is where we are in this day and age. But you know.
Yeah, I get it. And people are trying to get her season still aired and saying that it's not that big of a deal. But that's actually the first of 3 domestic violence incidents she's had with the same ex-boyfriend.
Who is this person? See, these people in this world, I don't pay any attention to them. But
so her name is Taylor Frankie Paul. She's a TikToker, and she's the first kind of TikTok celebrity they put on The Bachelor. But she's like huge. I mean, 10 million followers on TikTok. She has a show on Hulu called Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, so it's a huge big deal. But
she's a Mormon. Okay.
She's not a Mormon. She's been excommunicated. She was excommunicated after the swingers scandal. She actually got caught swinging with multiple other couples with her husband. Let's just move on.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about Usher and Justin Bieber apparently getting in an altercation?
Yeah, let's talk about Usher and Justin Bieber. And there's the other part that came out with Usher in that I guess he recently came out and said that he didn't believe that Diddy really did much, and that was also out there too today. But go ahead.
So here we go. So as we previously reported to you, this is from The Root. Not long after the 2026 Oscar wraps, reports started circulating about a potential heated exchange between the Yukon and Oh My God singers. According to people close to Bieber's camp, they allege that Raymond approached him while at the Beyonce and Jay-Z's annual gold party with energy and anger, which led to a tense yet brief moment together. Thankfully, ordeal was kept to only words and no physical contact was made between the two two stars at the star-studded affair. There is an AI image rotating around that's of course fake, but shortly after that, Usher came out in support of Diddy. And if we look at the timeline of things, Usher was he 13 or 14?
Roundabout when he first hit when Usher first hit the scene, he was 13 or 14 years old, correct?
So when he was 13 years old, he actually lived with Diddy while they were working on his Image and first album. Isn't that what happened?
I wasn't there, but that's the story, yeah.
That's the story. So now that same situation happened with Usher living with, Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber living with Usher.
All of this is wrong. What happened to Usher living with Diddy shouldn't have happened. What happened with Bieber living with Usher should not have happened. And if there was a heated exchange, I feel like Justin Bieber feels away. He's also been struggling a lot mentally. We've seen him struggle mentally over the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. And then Usher coming out supporting Diddy also was weird to me. I don't know if that was weird to you. I get it, but I don't. Do you get it?
Here's the thing. I don't have the relationship with Diddy that Usher, very few people have the relationship with Diddy that Usher has, right? As you mentioned, he probably has a bit of a big brother, fatherly type of relationship, uncle-y type of relationship with Diddy. Now, if Diddy had him at these freak parties and all this stuff and all of that, because, I've seen the documentary, I saw the one that 50 Cent put out, and it was it was wild. But I don't know about you, but I know a lot of cats who are wild. At least they talk about being wild. So the point being, you say that it's not right. It's not right. That was up to Usher's mama to decide whether or not him living with Diddy was right.
And the same thing with Justin Bieber.
Same thing with Justin Bieber.
They made that decision.
Right. So, because you felt like, okay, you wanted to get your son out there, and from a success standpoint, 20 years later, we're talking about Justin Bieber. I guess he's been out 20 years. It's probably close.
Yes, he's been out 20 years. Yeah.
And then Usher's been around 30 plus, and so from a professional standpoint, it worked out pretty well for them. Now, from their mental and who they are as people, and we don't know. I don't frequent the same circles with Usher. I know he's here in the city, and some people I know work for him. His Usher New Look is nonprofit. He seems he has a pretty good reputation in the city of Atlanta. Doesn't have a bad reputation here. So,
sure. I said sure. He doesn't have a bad reputation.
That's just it. See, I'm at the all the social media stuff. It just gives us access to stuff and the way people move. That's just like still to me is just like, Lord Jesus, if we knew what Rick James and Teddy Pendergrass and Madonna and, Madonna went through her phase, the Vogue phase when she was, Lord knows, every one of her music videos, like she was just it was just debauchery, like it was an orgy in every video, right? But it could have been just show. It is what it is.
And got a BBL.
Say what?
Then she turned 60 and got a BBL.
All right.
Okay.
Jesus.
So, Miguel, what are you watching?
So, what am I watching? We are watching right now. We are watching Paradise.
Yay!
Paradise is good, and we got one more episode before the season is up. If you're not watching it, it is what it is. If you are watching it.
No, it's not what it is. If you're watching our show, you need to be watching Paradise. There's no excuses, and also male men are evil. I thought this for years, and now I've been confirmed that male men are evil.
Yeah.
Point that out.
Yeah. So Paradise, we're watching that. We also watched this show with what's her name? Famous, can't do no wrong white woman.
That describes a good amount of white women.
Scarpetta, Dr. Scarpetta, or something like that. And I'm trying to think, what's her name? Who's in that? Oh man. Anyway, So we watched this whole thing, episode after episode after episode, and then when it came down to the end, we were just like, the last final episode was kind of like, you got to be kidding me. This is how you're going to end the season? So she's like a medical examiner, and then there's a whole thing about, her and the case that's 20 years old, case that made her, blah, 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 boom, 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 boom. Have you found it? It's Scarpetta or something like that?
It's called Scarpetta, and it's Nicole Kidman. That's the white woman you were trying to.
Right, there you go. Right.
Yes, Nicole.
Okay,
Kidman.
Nicole Kidman. Which one did she date? Tom Cruise or was it Brad Pitt?
Married to Tom Cruise, and then she was married to country singer. I forgot his name, but they recently got divorced. But also, it's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis is the producer of it. I don't think that outside of them two, no one else is really a big name.
Bobby Cavanaugh's not a big name to you? No? Okay, Simon Baker's not a big name. Don't you dare play those things on me. Don't you dare play those crickets. No.
No, they're not big names to me, but I consume a certain type of media for the most part. It's not bad. It's not bad, but the ending really pissed me off because there's no finality. You got to wait for another 2 years before. And so then we just got finished watching Cross.
I didn't finish it.
Yeah, we finished the season of Cross. That's good. So that's what we're watching. And then of course, it's basketball season, and then my girls are really getting into really learning the game, and so they're watching women's Final Four. I'm watching the women's Final Four more now than I ever have, and so we're watching a lot of basketball, men and women. Say again?
I can't wait till the girls go to college, and now we sitting courtside at college games.
We will be in. How far is Wellington from you?
I do not know. Let me look that up real quick.
Yeah, we'll be in Wellington Memorial Day weekend for a tournament. So we're having the travel season. We'll be in Phoenix and we got some stuff going on.
Wellington, Florida.
I want to say it might be near Palm Beach. Maybe it's down there. I'm not sure. I think it's south of Orlando.
Oh, it's south. Like it's even more south than my mom's. So you guys are.
So it's on the Tampa side.
No, it's on the opposite side of the Tampa side.
So it's going towards Miami. It's on the other side.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
You're off of 95. You're probably a good 4 to 3 hours from where I'm at.
Yeah. We anticipate about an 8-hour drive. So that's what we're doing. What are you watching?
So of course we're watching Paradise. Love that show. Very well written. Mailmen are evil. I love a bit of trash. Miguel knows this. So I watched Age of Attraction, where they hook young people up with old people and see if it's gonna work out. I watched that show. I got my mother-in-law to watch.
Grow up. Last time you had me, you recommended a show that what was that trash? Was it a movie or was it a show?
I don't remember. I recommend a lot of stuff, and you just sometimes it's good for you, and sometimes it's not.
Next time you say that Mama Blanche, I love you. Next time you say it's something, and then I'm be like, oh no, Mama Blanche is 70. Let me see, what are you? You're 40, so she's a 70-year-old.
She's
71-year-old. I love you, Mama Blanche, but I'm not taking recommendations that she's recommended to you because it was
she loves Paradise. Like that's really like
Paradise is good. Paradise is good. The whole Jane character.
I'm glad you said. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, the way she went out, I kind of expected more out of her. Like she was gonna go down with a fight, not get caught with a steamy shower and get stuck.
Well, who knows what happens?
If you haven't seen it, sorry, spoiled it for you.
I watched Age of Attraction. We also watched Blue Therapy on Netflix. Me and Omar. We didn't make it all the way through because it was just making us angry as a married couple. If you want to laugh at other people, married couples, watch Blue Therapy. Of course, I'm watching The Pit. I wish you guys could get into The Pit. It is
we're not watching anything right now. Maybe I'll go up there and pull it up and see if it's something that I can get Tracy into.
It is a good show, but it is very medically accurate. So if you're not into real blood and guts, don't watch it. But it's a very well written show. Of course, Abbott Elementary is back. Love that. 911 is back.
I got to get back into Abbott Elementary. I like Abbott Elementary. I think it's hilarious. I love it. I do. My computers. We about to end this thing because it's just.
Yeah, we got to end it because your computer's embarrassing us.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna try to end it. Y'all just bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Oh.